Hello, welcome to Conversation 1 Part 5. 这个对话我很可以. We're going to take a look at the Chinese conversation we saw before and see the English version. We're going to go part by part on how to say it in English using useful phrases. And also we're going to learn a little bit about the culture of how to get to know someone and chat with someone for the first time. So let's take a look together. The first part says, 你一个人可以吗? We can say, will you be all right on your own? So here, all right just means okay. Will you feel comfortable? Will you be all right on your own? On your own means just you, one person, by yourself. We could also say on one's own. So we can use this for on your own, on my own, on his own, on her own, things like that. On your own is very similar to by yourself, by myself. By myself means just one person. These two phrases, by yourself and on your own, are almost the same, but there's a slight difference. On your own sounds like you'll be doing something. So will you be all right on your own? And what are you doing? You're going to be enjoying the party, meeting new people, getting comfortable, stuff like that. And then the response is, just do your thing. Don't worry about me. I'll go make some new friends. So the beginning part, just do your thing. You don't need my help. I don't need to be involved in what you're doing. You just do your thing. Don't worry about me. Why don't you need to worry about me? Because I'll go make some new friends. I'll walk around and meet some new people. So make new friends is another way to say meet new people. 交朋友的意思. Next we can see, I was going to introduce you to the guy in the banana costume. He makes lots of YouTube videos too. You probably have a lot to talk about. So, I was going to introduce you to the guy in the banana costume. Introduce you means I'm going to get you two to meet, help you talk to this person for the first time. I was going to. You could say I was going to or I wanted to. Both are the same meaning here. It means that I was going to, I was planning to, but something changed and I'm not going to anymore. That's why we use the was here. I was going to introduce you to the guy in the banana costume. Now here, the guy means the person, right? The person in the banana costume. But Americans, when they're speaking, don't really use the word the person very often. We just will say the guy. Or if it's a woman, you would say the girl or the woman. So the guy in the banana costume makes lots of YouTube videos. Lots of here just means many, a bunch, a ton of them. And to, why do we use the word to? It suggests that you make YouTube videos too. So I know you make YouTube videos. He makes YouTube videos too. And you probably have a lot to talk about. Probably here means I think that's probably what's going on. That may be what's true. You have many things to say to each other. Really? Then I definitely want to talk to him. Here, we use the word really because you're a little bit surprised and you think it's interesting. So you say, really? Now the word really, if we ask it in a question like this, we can put many different intonations on it, different ways of saying it. Here, you're interested and surprised, so you say, really? If you think something's outrageous or crazy, you could go, really? Or if you think something's annoying, you could go, really? So there are many different ways to say the word really with a question mark like this. But here, because you're interested and a little bit surprised to learn this, you say, really? Then I definitely want to talk to him. Here, definitely means I surely want to talk to him. I for sure would like to talk to this person. Definitely is a very useful word. It'll make it stronger. It's not that I want to talk to him. I definitely want to talk to him. It sounds more 肯定. You're sure of it. I definitely want to talk to him. He sounds really interesting. Come here. I have a guava costume. You can borrow it. So anytime you're calling someone over, you say, come here. Come here. Come here. It sounds like two sounds. Come here becomes come here. I have a guava costume. You can borrow it. Now, the word borrow can be a little bit confusing. In Chinese, borrow is just 借. But in English, we have two different words. We have borrow and we have lend. Now, how are these two words different? Borrow means take and lend means give. So you can borrow it, meaning you can take it. You can take it and hold it for a little while. But then if we use the word lend, that's like give. I will lend it to you. You can take the guava costume. I will give it to you. I will lend it to you. Now next is, okay, thanks. It's a good fit for me. When I was a kid, I used to eat guava all the time. So whenever somebody does something nice for you, you can say, okay, thanks. We don't always need to say thank you. Thanks is just enough. Keep it shorter. It's a good fit for me. It's perfect for me. Here the phrase, a good fit, doesn't just mean clothing. It fits you well. It means it fits my personality, fits my lifestyle, anything. It's a good fit for me. Now we can use this phrase for a lot of different things. If your cousin is going to a new university, you could say that university is a good fit for her. Maybe it fits her lifestyle, the way she thinks, what she's used to, what she's comfortable with, all kinds of things like that. You can also talk about clothes. That's the simple way to do it. This shirt is a good fit for me. Or you could talk about a meal. I order a steak and I say, oh, this meal is a good fit for me. It's just what I wanted. Now, why is this a good fit for him? When I was a kid, I used to eat guava all the time. So here's the phrase used to we learned in the earlier lessons. I used to eat guava all the time. So this means when he was younger, his habit was to eat guava again and again and again. But now not so much, not as much. I used to eat guava all the time, but now just once in a while. Another way to say a good fit is it suits me well. Now you can think about a suit, 西装. A suit fits you perfectly. The suit suits me well, and it fits right on your shoulders, follows your body. It's perfect for you. So you could think about something like that. This thing fits me like it's a suit. Shoo, perfect. So maybe that coffee suits me well. The flavor suits me well. It's right up my alley. It's something that I like. Up my alley is another phrase you could use. Something that is what I like. It's my style. So it's a good fit for me, or it suits me well, or it's right up my alley. Okay. And next we have 哈哈，那我就先离开咯，等会见. Now in English, you can say, perfect. Well, I'm off. See you later. Here, when someone talks to you, you can always respond with some words like, oh, that's great, or perfect, or okay, got it. So here, perfect, we could say, great. So you're confirming what you heard, and you're saying that's good. So it's always good to respond to someone with a positive word like this. It shows that you're listening, it shows that you're interested, it shows that you care. So someone says, oh, okay, blah, 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 and you say, perfect, or you say, great, or good, okay? Next we see, well, I'm off. This is a way to say that it's time to leave. So off meaning going away and go off to do whatever you need to do. I'm off. I'm leaving the room. Or you could say something like, time for me to go, or it's my time to leave, something like that. It shows you're ready to leave the house and go on your errands, go on your mission. He says, see you later. You could say goodbye or talk to you later. All of these are okay to just say goodbye. See you later. And then we walk over to the guy in the banana costume. Here we go. Ready for our new conversation. Meet a new friend. Make our new friend. And so, start by saying, hi, how's it going? I'm Kyle. Now this is a pretty good way to start a conversation. Keep it simple. You don't want to just say hi. Hi. That's it? You need to ask a question. Asking a question shows you're interested, shows you're caring. Hi, how's it going? Now you can also say something like, hey, how you doing? How you doing is a very easy way to say, how are you doing? How are you doing becomes how ya doing. Hey, how you doing? Or hi, how's it going? All of these are nice ways to say hello to someone and ask a little question. Now, these don't have to get an answer, but it shows that you care by asking that question, right? Now, actually, in this conversation, Kyle didn't have the best introduction. This could be a lot better. This is just a greeting and saying, I'm Kyle. Hi, how's it going? I'm Kyle. But that's not quite enough, right? The other person doesn't have anything to say exactly. Maybe you should say something more to give them something to talk to you about, right? Now, in the next part, we see Bob. He does a much better job. Bob says, hey Kyle, I'm Bob. That guava costume is awesome. Now here, Bob shows us the best way to start a conversation. When you start a conversation with someone new, it's a great job to say hi and say your name, but also you want to add something more. You want to add something to lead to more conversation. If you just say, hi, I'm Kyle, the other person doesn't know anything about you, doesn't have anything to talk to you about. So here, Bob does a great job and adds a compliment. Adding a compliment or saying something nice to the person will give them something to respond to. It will help the conversation keep going. So Bob says, that guava costume is awesome. He's saying that the costume I'm wearing is really, really nice. Bob is doing a great job starting the conversation with a compliment. And then the next person can respond to that by saying, oh, thank you, and then we can continue on from there. Now, Bob says the guava costume is awesome. That just means really great. I think you probably know the word awesome. But there are a lot of words to mean good or great that we could fit in here. If you want to be a little more interesting, you can add more colorful words like, that costume is amazing, or that costume is incredible, or that costume is fantastic. All of these words mean something's really, really good, and you're going to make the person feel good by giving them a compliment. So maybe if you're meeting a new friend at an office party or something, you say, hey, that tie is amazing. Or someone on the MRT, hey, your haircut looks incredible. If you're meeting someone at a supermarket, wow, your outfit looks fantastic. So these are good ways to start a conversation. You can always start with a compliment. And then the next part is, thanks. Yours is pretty good too. I heard that you make YouTube videos. What kind of videos do you make? So here, Bob gives a compliment saying that guava costume is awesome, and you always want to respond, thanks. Yours is pretty good too. The yours is pretty good too sends the compliment back to Bob. And it's just a nice thing to do. What does yours mean? Here, yours is a pronoun and it's short for your costume. So your costume can get shortened to yours. We already know we're talking about costumes, so we don't need to use the word again. We can just say yours. Yours is pretty good too. Or yours is awesome too. Yours is amazing too. Try to use a different adjective than what the other person said. Next up, we can see, I used to film a lot of mukbang videos. I would always stuff myself on camera. Back then, I was pretty overweight. So, I used to film a lot of mukbang videos. Here we see the phrase, I used to, meaning I did it before, but now I don't do it anymore. Now, this is probably a new word for all of you. This was a new word for me, too. I only learned this word about 6 months ago. A mukbang video is a video when someone eats lots of food, and maybe they talk about the food while they're eating it. It's just a video where they go, and show you new foods and something interesting like that. Now, the word mukbang comes from Korean. It sounds familiar if you studied Korean before, but I've never studied Korean, so when I learned this word, I was kind of confused. My brother said, oh, we like to watch mukbang videos. And I said, what the heck is that? So I had to learn this word too. Now, this is one of the tricky things about English, right? The English language will pull new words from other languages. English does not take an idea and then create a new word. If there's an idea and there's a word in another language, English will just take that word. It's kind of like any other idea that comes from another country. There's food from Japan. They have this food called sushi. So we don't call it rice with fish on it, we just say, hey, let's call it sushi. So just like that, there was this idea, mukbang, and English just took that word and said, let's use the word mukbang. It's new to me, maybe it's new to you too, and this kind of video is getting really, really popular. So I used to film a lot of mukbang videos, but not anymore. I would always stuff myself on camera. You could also say stuff oneself. So stuff yourself, stuff himself, stuff herself. Now, what does it mean to stuff yourself? Stuff yourself means stuff yourself full of food. You fill yourself too much. You stuff it in there. Ugh, it sounds kind of scary. But if you're eating too much food, we use the word stuff. Oh, I stuffed myself and I can't eat anything more. So I would always stuff myself on camera. We use the phrase would always to mean it was a habit. You did it again and again and again. And then Bob says, back then, I was pretty overweight. So back then is a way to talk about the past. In the past, back before now, back then. I was pretty overweight. Pretty means quite a bit, a little bit. And overweight means you're too heavy. So your weight should be here, but you're over that weight. So you're too heavy. Now, why do we use the word overweight? Now, it's not very polite to use the word fat. And people don't like to hear the word fat. So we should try not to use that word. So don't call people fat for sure. If you call someone overweight, that's a little bit better, but still not great. Someone might feel uncomfortable with it. But when you're talking about yourself, it's okay to say, oh, I'm a little bit overweight. I need to go on a diet. So what can you say to talk about someone who's a little bit overweight without hurting their feelings? Well, you could easily just say that person's a little bit big. So they're too big. You need to be very careful when you're talking about someone's weight and their physique, their body. Some people will say big boned. They think their bones are big, so that's why they're so big. They're so large. Another recent phrase, a lot of women will say they're curvy. So they don't say they're too large or overweight, they'll say they're curvy. It's a nicer sounding way to say that someone's a little bit bigger. But be careful when talking about someone's weight. People can get really sensitive about it. Next up, really. What do you film now? Here we have really again. And be careful with the inflection. You want to say, really? Or really? You want to sound like you're interested, not like you're dismissing what they're saying. You don't want to sound like you don't like what they're saying. Really? Or you don't believe what they're saying. Really? You want to sound interested and happy. Really? Now, film is the word we use to make a video. You could also say record. You could also say shoot. Shoot a video or shoot a movie. So, what do you film now? What do you record now? What do you shoot now? All of these are okay. And Bob says, no one wanted to watch me eat food, so I only had 300 subscribers. I decided to start making videos about fashion. So, no one wanted to watch me eat food. Is it really no one? No, but you say no one to mean almost no one. Almost no people wanted to watch me eat food. Barely anyone. Very few people. So I only had 300 subscribers. Now, when you go onto YouTube or something like that, there's a big red button that says subscribe. If you click that, you become a subscriber. Anytime we add ER, it means a person who does something. And then he says, I decided to start making videos about fashion. So he changed his mind and he decided to start making videos about fashion or clothing and style. So we could use different words instead of fashion. Clothing, style, design, all kinds of stuff like that. That's cool. You look pretty well put together now. Saying that's cool is a nice way to just say, oh, I think that's interesting. Oh, that's pretty good. I like what you just said. And then you can say, you look pretty well put together now. Now, well put together means the person dresses nicely and they look good. They're well put together. It's kind of like Legos. You take many messy Legos and put them together, and when you build something, it's put together. And if you did a good job, you put it together well, well put together. So when we say someone is well put together, that means they look clean and nice and fashionable. Now be careful. People in Taiwan will also often say, "Oh, 他很 fashion 哦." But in English, fashion is not an adjective. We can't say he is very fashion. It sounds strange. You could say he's very fashionable, but that's not very common. We'll use other phrases instead. We'll use phrases like, "Oh, he's well put together." Or you can say, "He's very stylish." Now, if you're talking about a man and a woman, we can use different phrases. For a man, you could say, "Oh, he looks sharp." He looks very nice, very sharp. Or, "That man looks slick." He looks clean and slick. Or, if someone's dressed very formally and a little bit fancy, you could say, "He looks dapper." Dapper is a nice word to say. Now, for women, you could say, "Oh, she looks beautiful." That's an easy one. Or you could say, "Wow, she looks elegant." Talking about she's wearing a flowing, beautiful dress. She looks very elegant. Now for men and women, of course, we can say stylish, fashionable, or well put together. You can also say someone looks like $1,000,000. That means they look amazing. They look like $1,000,000. They look beautiful or wonderful. Or you could say looking good, of course. Keep it something simple. Next up we see, "I was just thinking about bailing on the party because I don't know anyone." I was just thinking about bailing on the party. Just is a few seconds ago, a few moments ago. I was just thinking about bailing on the party. So a moment ago, I was thinking about what? Bailing on the party. Bailing means you're leaving, you're running away. "Oh, I'm uncomfortable. I'm gonna get out of here." So you could say, "I'm going to bail on something." Now, Bob said he was thinking about bailing on the party. We can say this another way. He was thinking about ghosting, or he was thinking about ghosting on the party. So here, ghosting is a verb meaning you're acting like a ghost and poof, you disappear. So to ghost means when someone disappears without saying anything to anyone. Maybe someone goes to a party and they're hanging out with people, talking to their friends, and then you look around, suddenly your friend is gone. You could say, "Oh wow, it looks like my friend ghosted." Bob was thinking about ghosting on the party. He was thinking about just poof, leaving without saying goodbye to anyone. Now, ghost can also be used on text messaging. If you text with someone and you're talking to someone, and then suddenly they disappear and they don't respond and they never get back to you, you could say, "Oh, that person ghosted." They ghosted on the conversation. So this is another useful phrase. Bailing means running away, get out of there. Ghosting means poof, disappear. Next we have, "Also, I'm not used to talking to strangers. Good thing you came to talk to me." So here we have our phrase, not used to. I'm not used to talking to strangers. Strangers are people that you're not familiar with, people you've never met before. So I'm not used to talking to strangers. Good thing you came to talk to me. So it's a good thing that you came over here to talk to me. I feel good about it. I'm happy about it. We can use the phrase good thing when there's a surprise. I went to work and I was tired. Good thing we had an office party. It was a nice surprise. You could also use the phrase luckily. It's good luck. It's a nice little surprise. Lucky. Luckily, you came to talk to me. In our last part, actually, I'm not used to it either, but I guess it's a good chance to meet some new friends. I mean, I met you, right? So this is a really happy ending, right? So actually, I'm not used to it either. Actually means, in reality, in truth, I'm telling you something that's new. I'm admitting the truth to you. I'm telling you a little secret. Actually, I'm not used to it either. Now we're using the word either here because Bob just said, I'm not used to talking to strangers. And we're saying, I'm not used to it either. Either means also. So we're making a connection with the person too. So if someone says something to you, you can use the word either to show that you have the same feeling or same experience. But I guess it's a good chance to meet some new friends. So here we can use the phrase, I guess. It seems like, or, oh, I just found out. I guess So this is a good phrase to show that you think so. Yeah, it feels that way. I guess it's a good chance. Here, a good chance means a good opportunity. Maybe you don't often go to parties where you don't know people, but now you have the opportunity or a good chance to meet a new friend. So, I guess it's a good chance to meet some new friends. I mean, I met you, right? We're using I mean to make a connection between the two ideas. So here's A, and then I mean, in other words, so it shows there's a connection between one idea to the other. You hear the phrase I mean a lot in different movies, and you can use it all the time. Lucky for these two, they were not very comfortable. They're not used to talking to strangers, but they had a chance to meet a new friend. It's a pretty happy story, right? Now, it's your turn. Can you translate these phrases from Chinese into English? 你的香蕉酱很棒。我小时候很常吃苹果的。他不习惯看吃播影片。Now these will use all of the phrases and grammar that we've learned in the past couple lessons. Will you be able to translate this into English? Remember, you can leave a message in our community page and put your answers down there, and then we'll check together. And remember, you can go into our app to practice your speaking. Use your phone, go into our app, and you can practice this dialogue. You can choose both characters. You can choose to be Kyle, you can choose to be Bob. And you can speak into the app and practice your pronunciation and practice this grammar and the different words and phrases that we've learned today. So, I'll see you next time and have a good day. Bye-bye.